What up, my friends? July 8, 2026. I'm here in the Fitland in the Mach, and I'm telling you a funny story about a drunk ass NCC. Long story short, this NCC liked the most alcohol from peas, birnen and apple. Apple and peas, they brew it together and they make the most. And the most is better than beer. Probably more alcohol in it than beer, but it's alcohol. It's not schnapps, it's like beer. The most of Upper Austria, Oberösterreich. Because I talk about the most, I have to talk about the cold steel Talwa as well. Badass blade, so the most. We in Lower Austria, the most is the juice of the wine grapes. The wine grapes, I always show you, this is the most for us, and from this most we make the wine. The best wine in Austria comes from my hometown, the Weinviertel. Aus Ebental, Niederösterreich is the best wine. So we call most the juices of the grapes, but those weird people in Oberösterreich and Upper Austria, for them is most alcohol, which apple pea shit. Yes, okay. And this NCC is famous for his awesome most. They even have this famous most in some battalions in Austria. It's a #1 drink of some parts in the army of Austria, because they don't like only the beer, they also like the most from the Mostibauer. I didn't like them at all. He didn't like me because I'm Joe X. I open my mouth, I don't drink too much, and this NCC came to the mission, and of course he came to the PX guy, which I was not it, and he said, I want the most. He needs the most in the mission because these guys need the alcohol. They thrive on the alcohol, so he needed the most also in KFOR mission, which was not possible because we just have beer, Austrian beer, Bunti, Zipfer, Gösser. Wine we have from Austria as well. The wine is coming from Austria as well because the Kosovarian wine is not too good, they say. Actually it's good. Orahuac has a very good wine, so we need also the wine from Austria. But this guy is not satisfied with beer and wine. He also needs the most. And he needs his most. The most of the Mostibauer. This Oberst or Oberstleutnant, I don't know. He ordered the PX guy and the S4 that they have to check to get the most from his favorite Mostibauer from Oberösterreich to the mission. So the PX Haberer, the PX guy, had a lot of stress and work to do and check how to get the most from Austria to the mission. And actually it worked. Actually they got the most from Austria to the mission, and they sold it, which was totally okay, sold it like beer or wine in the mission. But there were some, you are sending this kind of stuff with the Hercules, the C130 from Austria to the mission. The most is here, who cares, right? We love the most. It's not a fat guy, but he was a little bit obese. Sports was not his thing. He only liked people who drank with him the most. Yeah, the most came from the Mostibauer. Mostibauer or so, or Mosti Haberer from Austria. So he got his favorite most in the mission, and you know, this tasted like shit. This most tastes like shit. I rather drink the water from the Moach in liter than I drink one sip of this most, because it tasted like crap. You can drink wine and beer, but this most shit was unbelievable. You know, it was such a bad taste. I don't understand that anybody can drink this shit. But anyway, if the Oberst liked his most, we have to get the most. So the most was in the Öhof. We sold it like regular beer, probably more expensive, but the price was okay. So everybody started to drink the most. Nobody liked the most, but why was everybody drinking the most? Why? So the officers and also some Vizeleutnants and some OR lower rank sergeants, they started to drink the most, even they didn't like the most. Why? Why was that? Why was that? Talwa. You know why they drank it? Because they were Arschgröler, because this NCC only liked people who drank with him the most. When you drank with him the most, you were in his favor. You could get probably a lot of stuff from him if you ask him. When you are in his ass, you know, when you like the most juice of his a-hole, when you go inside the musty power the most, and you take out all the most from his a-hole, these guys were in his favor because he liked the Arschgröler. He liked the people who drank his fucking most. Fucked up, this is completely unbelievable. But this is how these officers worked down there. Some of them, not all of them. If you drink the most, you are a good guy. If you don't drink most and you do sports like I did, I was the bad guy. And he didn't like me at all because he see it in my eyes that I hated this guy. I disgusted this guy. One of the best self-defense weapons there is the cold steel talwa. Okay, so you drink the most with this guy, you were in his favor, you had the ass juice in your face. Some didn't have it just in the face, they had it the whole body. The whole body was covered in most because they were so deep in this guy, you can't even imagine. Because I mean, I understand if you are a weak lieutenant, if you are a weak Oberleutnant, if you are a weak Vizeleutnant, and you need the attention of the most guy, of course you want to crawl inside because you are a weak person. If you are a weak person, you are a Arschgröler. Du größt in die Arschlöcher rein, das ist unglaublich. Es ist unglaublich, was manche Soldaten gemacht haben, was die gemacht haben. Der Most schmeckt einer gar nicht, die speimen sie halber da, und trinken den Dreck trotzdem, was ihm in den Arsch reingreifen. You know, when you were drinking with this guy, he was happy. He was happy sitting in the air of drinking the most oily Little Austria, because the second air of his Little Austria where they drink the alcohol. So if you drink with him, you were the best. You see how sharp it is. It's blade as razor. Der Typ hat den Most runtergeholt nach Pristina, passt. Natürlich, alle, die was am gesoffen haben, die waren super. Die waren reingehauen bei ihm, Vollgas, voll reingehauen, und natürlich nicht. Und jetzt haben ein paar Leute gesagt, nicht, dass der Most für den Arsch ist, dass du den am Bauch haben kannst. Das hat natürlich gar nicht taugt, wenn du sagst, das ist ein Scheißdreck, weil das ist der beste Most, den es gibt. Und so Typen wie die, was nicht gesoffen haben, die waren einfach die Außenseiter, und der hat mich gehasst. Der Typ hat mich gehasst, weil er den Scheißdreck nicht gesoffen hat. Ganz einfach. Ganz einfach. Und was ist passiert? Er ist aufgefallen. Aufgefallen, ist nicht runtergefallen. So, in my opinion, this guy abused his power because he was an NCC. He knew also a lot of people in Austria. This guy knew generals in Austria. And we all know this. So he have a lot of power to make your life really bad. He could make your mission like a living hell. And of course, these people know this and they banded over him. But not me. Not me. The one thing is, I didn't have troubles with this guy with my YouTube channel, but I had troubles because of my job, and of course I'm working with most of these officers. So it was just a bad mission, really bad mission. So this guy, this NCC, knew all the generals, and of course he got a lot of favors from Austria as well, because he had the power. When you have connections to Austria, to the military up, of course you get stuff others would never get. And he abused his power. In my opinion, he abused it. He abused it. Like I abused the coastal Talwa 3-5 years ago. Check out this video, Joe X versus the Talwa. Epic video, vintage video, Joe X destroying blades. The thing is this, the people only drank it because they want to Arschgröl in his ass, then they drink this shit, and in fact nobody liked to drink it. And all these weak officers were sitting in their hof, sipping, yummy, yummy. Oh, Herr Oberst, der Most ist ja so gut. Der Most schmeckt ja so gut. In the end, they were crawling in his fucking asshole. These people were so weak. They were so weak. These are no men. These were no men. These are chickens. Spineless mothers. Spineless chickens sitting in the roof. That's good. You know, so good. And then when he was gone, probably they vomit the shit back in the toilet. A really funny shit show. But when you think about it, what they did to me, cancel me. And what the other people were doing, officers abusing powers, wasting taxpayers' money like crazy, and nothing happened to them. And the weird thing is, this guy now, I think he went to somewhere else, so he went up the ladder. Because he knew people, he knows people, he went up the ladder, up, not down. I went down like a whoop, 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 back in hell. But these guys, they go up, just up it goes. But the thing was this, when this guy was gone after 6 months, you know, I had something to say in the PX. You know what we did? We used this most to clean the toilet, because nobody drank this shit, so it expired. And after it was expired, we cleaned the toilets with the most. It's a very good toilet cleaner, you know. We paid, the government paid already, so we don't have to buy some Steel-X or stuff or some other cleaning equipment. We just used the most and cleaned the shit out of the toilets, and it worked pretty good, because when the most soldiers shit inside and don't clean the toilet too good, so I gave the most to our locals, and they just rinse it one time with the most, and the shit was gone. Magic most from the most power. So cleaning the shit with this stuff was very good. Sometimes it's very hard to get the shit out of the toilet, and with this most, it was super. Ist urleicht gegangen. Wir haben mit dem Most einfach die Scheiße weggewischt. War super, danke, echt leibend, also das hat funktioniert. Du kannst richtig mit dem Most die Scheiße wegputzen. Awesome. Also unseren Arbeitskräften hat das auch taugt, was weniger Hocken gehabt haben. Du lässt einfach im Most ein und die Scheiße ist weg. Also echt geil, echt super. Also danke NCC. But I also have to thank this NCC, because thanks to him we have a sauna and a swimming pool also in Film City. So this guy played his connections, and then we got acknowledged to buy a sauna, which costed around 10,000 euro without the oven. The oven is from Pristina. From the old camp in Suvarekka, the sauna oven, and just the sauna itself without the oven costed around 10,000 euro, as far as I can remember. He played his strings to Austria, and actually we got the sauna because he wanted a sauna. I mean, we have a sauna also in the gym where everybody can go, men, women. We have 2 separate saunas in the gym, which is paid from KFOR. At the beginning, not everybody was allowed to go there, so when guys from Bay, from Patch, other soldiers, the infantry were coming, the normal people like you and me at the beginning, maybe a little bit difficult. Also the pool, we bought also a pool. I don't know how much, 1,000 euro it costed. They bought the pool in Austria and they sent the pool to the mission, because after the sauna they want to swimmy also in the pool, so they got also a pool. Isn't that nice? But this is a mission. We are on a mission. This is the KFOR mission, basically. But the Austrians need a sauna, we need a pool, and we need the most. Why? I don't know. Nothing bad happened, it's just a funny story. Which kind of officers, which kind of hobbits I had to deal in these missions. And as I said, when you deal with these guys, your whole military career, you get loco, you get crazy esse. Loco, insane in the membrane, insane in the brain, insane in the membrane, you know what I mean? You're dealing with crazy people, you get crazy. You're dealing with assholes, you will be an asshole. You assimilate from this kind of people, and this sucks. This sucks balls. To get like them, to be like them. So you need to get out of the matrix. You need to eat the Joex pill to get out of the matrix. Esse. Insane in the membrane. You loco esse. Here's the shit. You know what I think about all these people? Exactly. Here's a chop. Yes, it is. I love this blade. As I said, the whole story is just fiction. I'm making this up because I'm gonna play in the Citizen Vigilante Part 3 which will be played in my hometown here in Thailand, Isan. And Uwe Boll gave me the main character because he liked Shrek so much. And I'm gonna get to smoke all these mothers, which is awesome. So just a fiction story. Nothing of this is true. All right, that's it now. I hope you enjoyed this shit. Kosil Talva says bye bye. Bye bye.